Hello and welcome back to another episode of Keep on Creating and another episode tutorial on with. I'm getting confused. Where are we? And welcome back after the intro of Keep on Creating. Thanks for joining me on another tutorial. And today we're going to be doing some more fancy text graphical vector style design graphic improvement skills in Affinity Designer. And I am thinking what we're going to be doing in the next few episodes. We're going to be throwing back in some Illustrator because it's such a cool program to use too. And a few other programs that I think could work quite well. I'd like to know from you, what other programs do you use? And for your design work, or you're trying to learn from the design side of things. And I know I'd like to start throwing in some of that vector to 3D printers sort of vibes, because the channel's keeping creating. We're going to start creating more stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm starting to get the hang of the 3D sides, which is really interesting to me, and I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it too. So hang around for that. And without ado, let's just jump right in today. I'm sitting in front of my screen, so we can just straight away, we can just head up to File and drop down to New to create that new document, as you all know how to do. Mine is on 500 by 500, 300 dpi, not that that matters in any shape, way or form, and click on Create, and up pops our whiteboard of wonder. So what we're going to be doing today is, let's just grab some text again, as we normally do. Hit T or get your artistic text tool over here. Click somewhere on your white artboard and let's type in your words. So let's just do fade again. I've written that in capitals. Now this one's only going to work really in capitals really well. So just keep it in capitals. So I've got the word fade over here. A nice chunky font that we're going to be using. Nice thick and chunky. We're going to be using, I think, Beboss for this one. So B-E-B, and then we've got Beboss. Okay, so that's a really nice chunky style font. And we're probably going to need, I think we're going to need the word do not. So let's just write in here, do not. Okay, don't put it too close, otherwise it'll be like donut. So do not. Okay, and we're going to make that smaller. Obviously, you choose whatever text you would like to choose. And I'm just going to knock that over there for now. Right, so the fade bit. We need to first convert this to curve. So we're going to break it from this text element and turn it into a curve element. So basically, easy done. It says over here, it's a little text element. All we're going to do is go Command Enter, and you can see it's changed into a group. I'm going to ungroup this. So I'm going to go Command Shift G, and you can see it's broken all of those into those separate curves there. Let's just zoom in here. I'm going to make this pretty close on this one. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to hold shift and click and drag all the way a little bit close. Now to do that, all I've done is use my move tool, which is up here. Okay, that's the move tool. Hold shift and just drag it in nice and close. So you can see how I've really tucked that A into that F. Obviously, you can see how it is with the D and the E. I've kept that space over here small, and that's what I'm looking for there. Now I'm going to select everything here. Okay, so I've selected all those elements there. I'm going to unite them together. So I'm going to add them all together. So if you're an Illustrator, you click the Unite button. And if you're an Affinity Designer, what we're in at the moment, we are going to click this little Add button up here. So that adds them all together. So you can see that is one graphic. Then I'm going to label fade, and I'm going to label it, I'm going to label this color, because we are going to change this to a color. And just for reference sake, so we all know what the hell we're doing, I'm going to click on red, and there we go. It is now red, and now it's a color. Okay, so that cool tool I was working with last week, I'm going to use again this week. I basically want to round these edges slightly, okay? I don't want to have to put a key line on this and then round the key line. All I want to do is just round these corners, and a really easy way to do that is click this little tool right here, this corner tool, and you can see all these little corners all light up all over the place. So I want all of those little blocks, all those little white blocks there, I want to select all of them. So quick way, with that tool selected, just going to click and drag over all of them, and they all turn blue. I'm going to go to one of these corners. So you can see it gives me that little arc on that little arrow there. So dong, there we go, there's a little arrow, and I'm just going to slowly click and drag it in. And you can see all those little corners, they're all starting to round everywhere, even inside the A, inside the D, and these sections over here. You can see where it was, and that's what I'm looking for there, just like that nice soft curve, just to take it away from this hard edge. So it was really, really hard like that, and we made it soft. So if I just go and redo that, and there we go. Okay, so now what I would like to do is make a copy of this layer over here. So to make a copy of that layer, as we found out last week from one of our subscribers, I think it was Dave, we are going to go Command J, and you can see it's made basically another copy of it here. So on the bottom copy, so this copy underneath our top copy, let's just make that black for now. So I'm going to make it that dark color, and I'm going to go fade shadow and then hit enter. Okay, so I'm going to select my move tool. And with this layer selected over here, so our fade shadow, I am going to click and just hold down my shift. Okay, now the reason why I'm holding down shift is I want this to basically go in a 45-degree angle. So I want it to kind of go at a 45-degree angle. If I don't hold shift, you can see what happens. I can drag it anywhere like this, hold shift, and it snaps to that nice 45-degree angle, and that's what I'm looking for. So just drag it, and I'm going to make it actually overlap just these sections over here. So it just tucks under that red bit on the top layer, our colored bits, and it's probably, I'm just going to do a little bit more so it just tucks under this part of the F here, which then I know is tucking under everything else. So that's what I'm doing over here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, now I do want this shadow to basically come from here and extend to this point here. Normally what we could do like a blend function where we can actually blend that all the way up to the top, and it makes it quite a nice shadow. But obviously I haven't found anything in Affinity Designer to let us do that at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to push P to get a pen tool, which is this tool over here. And I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to go to this corner over here, and you can see how it goes yellow. To select that edge, I'm going to click over there, and I'm going to do the same over here. I'm just going to keep on going around, and wherever there should be a shadow joining, that's where I'm going. So you'll see through all these editors that I'm working with, it's probably a good idea to maybe do this version first and then work on your own text version. It's just so you can get the idea of where we're going at with this. So I've drawn that little shape underneath there, just joined all those bits in one single bit. You could go and divide all those bits up into one, but you're going to end up with a lot of pieces you're going to have to unite. So just, this is an easy way to do it. Okay, so with all those bits there all done, I do want this to be a black fill and not a black outline. So I'm just going to switch my fill and my stroke around. So I'm going to switch those around, and you can see if I take this little object that we've drawn, send it all the way to the back, Command Shift, open square bracket, and you can see it gives us that really nice shadow behind there. And that's how easy it is to create a shadow. And now that we've done the F, let's just follow quickly through all this and do the A, D, and E. So I'm just going to get my pen tool up again, click within my object somewhere over here, go to that edge, click, click. Probably don't need one inside that A, so I'm going to zoom around this way. I'm going to go to this edge over here, click, zoom in over here, and then go around to this edge somewhere there, this edge somewhere there, and just close that graphic off over there. Do the same with the D, so click, click over here. I'm going to go around to this edge over here, somewhere around about there. Basically what I'm looking for is that point just where it curves, so it doesn't bulge out. And so it doesn't, so basically it doesn't bulge out, and I get that really nice smooth transition between my shadow and that curve edge. So let's do there. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, click, click there. Whoops, I missed that one. Go to the edge over there and go back around here into there, just touching that red part of the E, the last little bit up here, and then we're going to close that off. Okay, with all those curves we just did, so that's the, this is the E, this is the D, and this would be the A. Let's just flip those around really quickly. So make sure your fill is all black, send them all the way to the back, Command Shift, open square bracket, and they're all the way to the back. So you can see we've got that nice shadow effect. Now, I just noticed over here that that's not quite touching. Okay, so we can always go just change this. It's really easy. We're going to just hit A, and click on that little node over there and just snap it to that edge. So you can see how smooth that transition is between this transition going out here and transitioning in there. That just makes it really, really cool and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to now select my shadow and all these extensions of the shadow that we drew, so those connectors, select all of those. So on my object, I've got 4 letters plus the shadow. Should have 5 elements selected, and click on this add button, and now it's one item. So I've got this one shadow behind here. That's that one shadow there. And that's how we're going to do this stage. And let's move on to the next bit here. So I'm going to basically want to create a key line around everything here. So a quick and easy way to do that, I'm going to select the 2 layers that I've got, go Command G to duplicate those. So you can see I've duplicated both of those layers. I'm going to add them together. So the quick and easy way to add them together or unite them together is click on this little add button up here, and we've got that layer done over there. Now, something really quick. what we can do is, if we're unhappy with like a curve, if I just zoom in over here, and you can see how I would really like that curve to be nicely smooth going in between those two. I don't want those like dinging here, going there, and then bulging out over there. I'm gonna hit A, and that should bring up our node tool, which shows us all our nodes. So now I can go in and just select the nodes where I think they should be really smooth, and just delete them. So I'm just going to hit backspace on this little node over here. So click it, hit backspace, delete it, click it, hit backspace, delete it, and you can see how smooth that curve goes. I did notice down here is possibly the same, so I'm going to do the same. Just hit delete, backspace, and backspace. So you can see I'm just go around and tidy the ones I'm not really that happy with. Okay, and delete. That's good. That didn't delete it. Those look okay. I was just thinking it was those two there. So if you've got any that you don't like the look of, just go and delete them. Okay, so, and let's just go label in our different areas here. So this top one over here is the one we just dealt with. So I'm going to go shadow. Okay, so shadow. Okay, and I'm going to put that all the way to the bottom. I think I'm going to select those two at this point and just add them together. Okay, so we should have a big one that covers everything, and then this top one over there just by itself. So we've got this red layer on the top and this black layer on the bottom. And now that we've got that part done, move on to the next bit. I am going to go back to my layers palette, and I want to put a keyline around this. So what I want to do is I'm going to select both of my layers over here, hit Command J to make a duplicate of those two layers, and I'm going to click on this little add function here to unite them. So they all become one object. And you can see how that shadow has become one almighty object over everything now. It's gone all the way to the top. Let's just drag that all the way to the bottom, so somewhere down here. And I am going to go to my stroke layer and just pump up that stroke. So I'm going to pump it up, make sure it's got a nice round edge to it, so you can see all those little bits are round over there. And I'm just going to give it a nice round. I'm not too concerned at this point whether we're lining to the outside or in between half of them. It doesn't really matter. We're just aligning nice round edges over there. So you can see got that nice round keyline, but around the outside of the keyline over here. And that's because it's all the way to the back. Okay, we actually don't need this layer over here anymore, but I'm just going to throw it away so we don't get confused by it. So we've got our fade color and our shadow. Now the next bit is we need to kind of gloop these together. So I'm just going to zoom in again, and let's just get our pen tools, hit P. I'm going to go to my colors palette again, so get my colors, and I am going to, let's select this. Right, let's go for yellow so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so to join these, I've got my pencil, which is this tool over here, and I'm simply going to click. Now you can go nuts with this. I'm going to click over here, and I'm just going to make it nice and curvy. Okay, I'm actually going to take this stroke down quite a bit, so something like really small, so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to cut this little node extension off over here. Okay, that little curve tool. Cut it there and click over here, and I'm going to bend it whichever way. If you want to go curve the other way, you decide what you want to do here. I'm going to flip that over. Okay, so that's going to be a join in between those two letters. I'm going to make another one. Let's make another one down here somewhere. So I'm actually going to curve it more this way. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to curve it from like a big to a small, so something like that. Okay, this is what I'm saying. You can literally do whatever you want to do. Let's just make that, what color do we use? We use this yellow here, and then I'm going to make another one up here. Okay, and this one I'm going to get a little bit fancy with. I'm going to go over here, click over here, curve it out, come back here, and then come back there. So you can see it's going to be like a bit of a double join. Okay, I'm going to close it off and then make it this yellow color. Okay, so you can see how I'm going to join these three elements together. Now what I want to do is unite the yellow bits, so all the little bits we just drew, those little extension bits, to the red bits. So I'm going to go and select all the yellow bits, like there, and there, and then select the red bits. So I've got all those elements together, and I'm going to click on the Unite button. Now, I'm pretty sure something weird's going to happen here. I'm going to click on that, and you can see what's happened is it has filled in all our little bits that we didn't want filled in. So I'm going to actually click on this, what's this, divide button over here. So I'm going to divide it all out again. Then what I'm going to do is select these sections over here. So these are actually all the little bits that used to punch through these sections. Okay, so select all those bits. I'm going to unite them or add them together. Now make sure this layer here with all these little bits that used to punch through is at the top of this fade layer. So on top of the text layer. Now select both of those layers. Okay, so the top layer, next layer down, and then hit this subtract button, and then we've got our effect back to where we want it again. So it's all punching through those, the A's and the D's and the little swoosh button there. So you can see how it's all gloopy and goopy. Moving on to the next section, let's add some detail into the shadow section. So hit P to get our pencil up again, and I'm going to keep this as a yellow fill, hope it'll draw as a yellow. And let's just add some splippy splops coming somewhere, I don't know, somewhere like here. I mean, you can just go a little bit crazy with these. Okay, so it didn't fill with yellow. I'm going to make one there. I'm going to put another little one up here-ish. Just remember to close your objects off. We can make another big one over here. You can use 2 to 3 if you want. Just go crazy. Go crazy. And just keep on going. So something right there. I suppose if you wanted to, you can add some up here. If you've got very, very wide letters, you can always add some up here. What I'm actually going to do is add a few little drips to this, which I think would be quite cool. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool. Okay, and I'm just going to click and drag something like that. I'm going to curve these corners quite a bit. So to curve them, I don't know if we can do it up here. Can we round them? Yep, we can round them. So I can just round that all the way. So 100%. Okay, so we've got the curve there that we don't have to go and use the other tool for. And I'm just going to put some drips here and there. Okay, to get an idea of where they should be going. I think I'm going to pop that one there. Okay, make a shorter one somewhere around here. Something like that. Do another one on this side. Maybe a tiny little one over there. That'll be cool. Okay, then select all your yellow elements. So select them all. And I'm going to go select the top one, add them all together, and we can now make them black. So you can see them kind of like dripping everywhere, going everywhere, literally everywhere. Let's add some detail to where these joins are. So I'm going to zoom in here and hit P to get my pen tool, and I'm going to go, if we should be able to hover over a point like this, and you can see how it snaps there and it snaps right to that point over there. This is because these snapping tools are turned on over here. So I'm going to click over here and I'm going to draw something like that. Okay, trying to follow that curve a little bit. Click over here, go to the edge, click and close it off. Now you can see if I make that black, you can see how it gives us like that little like shadow bit over there, which is perfect. Hit P. Okay, now the reason why I do like to make these like a different color like the yellow is so I can identify them when I come back to do it. So snap to that corner over there, you decide how you want this to curve. I'm just going to curve it something like that. Okay, take that extra little curve tool bit of the curvy bit, make it go like something like that. Click here, click here. I'm going to make that yellow. If you want to, you can even do a tiny little bit on the top, a little cheeky bit there, a little cheeky bit in there. Okay, just cut that and then close it off, make it yellow, and just make sure it's sitting above everything so we can actually see it. Okay, oops, something like that. I'm just going to zoom out again. And let's get this one over here. So click there, come on over here, curve it, cut that little node there. I'm actually going to do this one a tiny bit differently. I'm going to bring it back over here. Okay, cut it there, come back out a little bit, cut that there, and then come back in a bit. So it's given a little bit more choice, shall we say. And then let's just close that off and make sure it is a yellow again. Curve this one out over here. Okay, cut it, come back, cut it. And this gets you really used to that pen tool. With the pen tool, you can practically do anything. I mean, all the hard things, just don't do what I just did there. I'm going to go back over here and try to redraw that. Cut that over there. That's good, good. Okay. Now with the pen tool, once you master the pen tool, you can really start to do a lot of different creative things. So this is actually a really good exercise in the pen tool, just these little swooshes, these little gloops that we're creating between the letters. Okay, and the last little bit is this section up here. So we're going to bring it up here, cut that back, put it in here, make that yellow. Okay, spend a little bit of time on this, making sure that you got all your little angles right and everything. I'm going to cut it short there and bring it back here. So that whole bit there is going to be like a black section. Cut it here. Let's go out here. Cut it and cut it. There you go. And make that yellow. And the last little bit on this side. So we're just going to make a nice big one over here. And cut it back over here. Remember to chop those little node ends off over here. Cut it back over here. If you want to add in more little strokes like I did earlier, or more little wispy bits on them. What I mean that, I mean if you want to cut it in here, cut it, come out a little bit, cut it, then come back in. You do that. You go merry and crazy. Okay, so now you can see all the little bits that we've added in over here. Again, all those little yellow bits. All we need to do is select all the yellow bits now, all the different color bits on our artboard. So make sure you scroll down, select them all. I can unite them together or add them together and make them all black. Okay, so you can see how that's starting to really come together quite well there. Okay, look at that. Now, if we wanted to add some more detail to the inside bits, say we wanted to actually add a bit more cuts into like the A sections over here, we can go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to make a few of them so I can know where they are. Just add them in yellow. I can even do one going this way, I suppose, in here. Just add a bit more effect to it. Let's go close that off. Let's do one up here. So this is all open to what you want to do with your letters and how distressed. If you want it to really be all blobbied up, then you just go add in quite a few of these. Totally up to you. So I'm just going to add in those little few ones, not too many for me. Select all of them, add them together, and then we're going to make them black. Okay, so you can see how it's really starting to work out here. Okay, with these little sharp bits over here, I'm going to select them and I'm going to get this curve tool of ours. So I'm going to select this corner tool and I am with them all selected. Just going to drag a marquee over all of them. Okay, I don't think it'll curve these curves and curves. I'm just going to drag and select them. So something like that, just to make them a little bit more in line with all the little curvy bits that we've got going on in here. So these edge bits over here, that's all curved. This can all be curved. Now, I think that's pretty good. Just looking at it, I would like to just add a quick few, just to give it really some detail. So I'm just going to add some bits, just joining these top bits of this D section over here. Okay, so I'm just going to add that, make it yellow. And likewise for the A, I'm going to actually make a huge one going all the way across like this section over here. I think that'll look good. Add them together. So with them both selected, just add them together, make them red. Okay, so the nice thing loops across. Just might as well go and add in the little sections of here for the black section. So I'm just going to add a bit in there. Okay, probably maybe just to one side of it on this side. Make a block. I can do it on this side over here. Just kind of go like that. Oops. Okay. There and there. Okay, make that yellow. Should make that one yellow so we know what they are. Forgetting what I'm saying to myself. Okay, so just those two sections over there, and we'll do this little bit over here. Go up and out to the outside. My curve was a little bit extreme for me, so just gonna go somewhere about here, curve it back and curve it in. There we go. Another little one down here. Okay, and make sure they're both yellow so we can see them. And another little one down here. I'm not going to bother with that top one on that section over there. Okay, now this section here is a little bit more tricky, so make sure you try to follow that curve as perfectly as you can, that little curve right there. Okay, and make that yellow. I'm going to select all my yellow bits, add them together and just make them black. So all those yellow bits there, add them together, make them black, make it rain. Whoop, you can see a tiny little bit in there. I don't know where that's from. Is that? That's because this little node needs to snap to that little node right there. Okay, that is cool. I like it. I like it. Okay, so you can see how that all is kind of like looping together and everything there. That looks good. So this is bringing our do not. Okay, and I said we were going to add in our little logo somewhere here, and let's plop in our logo here, which I said we were going to do. So I'm just going to go on my computer, go file, open, and open up that document, get my little logo and paste it into this document over here. So there's a logo. So where we're going to place this, I think a cool place to place this would probably be like hanging over the edge of something over here. Bring on those do not bits over there. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Okay, just to fit it probably just somewhere around that edge over there, kind of in line with the edge of that red. And I put this over here. I'm going to rotate mine slightly, okay, because it is not exactly a straight logo we got going here. So I'll scale it up a little bit. So what we can do to gel these in a little bit better is I can first of all, let's convert these to curves. So select it, Command Enter, select your text over here, Command Enter. And then it's a group. I'm going to go Command Shift G to ungroup this. So you can see it ungroups all those curves. I haven't clicked off or anything, and I'm just going to click this Unite button or the Add button up here, and then it all becomes this is that one object. Do not. Okay, do not. And this is obviously, I'm just going to say our logo hand. Okay, so whatever your logo is, you can pop it in there. I'm going to select this over here, get my curve tool, which is this tool over here, this corner curve tool, drag over everything, slightly round all of them. Okay, so it's representing more the style of font that we've created here. With this little section over here, a little bit more. I'm not going to curve everything on this one. We'll keep it the same because obviously it is our logo. I'm going to go and select this rectangle tool, and I'm going to just draw something like there, a little bit over there. Maybe make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so something like that. I'm going to take this corner, and I'm going to take it around and take that right up to 100. So it's a nice rounded corner. You can make that black for now. We're going to know where these are and what they are. Drop another one over here, and possibly, if I zoom out here, maybe rotate that a little bit more. Just readjust where these ones are dripping out of. Something like that, and maybe this one can drip something like there. Don't know if I like that one. May destroy the logo a little bit more, but let's have a look. Zoom out. Yeah, I do not like that one at the end there. So I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to keep those two. So you can kind of see if I want to lengthen that one a little bit. There we go. And that's looking pretty damn good. And then lastly, let's just do a little bit of house cleaning. So I'm going to select my red object over there, my red object over here, add them together. And make sure to select all those little curves you've gone and drawn. I'm going to add them together and make sure they sit on top of everything. So those are our shadows. That's our shadow, that's our do not, that's our hand, those are our drips. And there we go. So now all I need to do, if I wanted to change the color of this, I can go ahead and change it to blue, weird purple color, orange, green, yellows, whatever you want to change it to. It is really quick and easy to change them to. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this episode on creating this awesome graphic that we just did here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, which is probably located about here. And I shall catch you on the next one. I'm out of here.